At the age of 19, I scaled my reinvented agency to $59,000 a month with just a phone and an internet connection. And in this video, I'm going to break down step by step exactly how I would do the same thing over again if I had no previous skills or experience. Because believe it or not, if you follow the right framework, which is what I'm about to show you in this video step by step, you can easily scale up a reinvented agency to $10,000 a month in the next 4 to 5 months with just a phone and Wi-Fi. You're not going to need any money up front, you're not going to need any previous skills or experience, and it really doesn't even matter how old you are. As of this moment, this is literally a money printer. All we do is we take advantage of an overcrowded market, that being SMMA, and we do the exact opposite, which makes us stand out like black sheep to the point where clients are going to be running to you, begging to pay you because of how different you are. So let's get right into it. And just before we do that, I want to make it clear that this video is not going to have some super flashy edits like my other videos. This is going to be real actionable steps that if you take, you will make a shit ton of money. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's get right into it. If I started an agency in 2024 and getting into 2025, here's exactly what I would do to get up to $10,000 a month. So just a bit of a background if you don't already know me. Hi, my name is Andrea Jordania. I started broke at 15 with no skills, no experience, no audience, and I hated school. I just knew that the 9-to-5 life just wasn't for me. And I was probably in a similar situation to where you are right now. And by this point, I've made over $550,000 online at the age of 19. I get to travel the world, work from wherever I want, do whatever the hell I want, and I make money with doing barely any client work at any time of day. That's the best thing about it. You don't really become a slave to your clients. Now, by the age of 15, I had tried dropshipping, Forex, clothing, SaaS, and trading, and a bunch of others, and they all failed. I'm not going to sit here and say they're all shit and they don't work. I just didn't go all in. They didn't work out for me. It wasn't the ideal business model for me. And then soon after that, I got into social media marketing. At the time, it was popping off right before the boom. And I got into it thanks to Jason Capital, who was a big guru at the time, and then later on because of Eman Ghazi. So I spent my life savings on a $1,000 course from Jason Capital, and I was completely sold on SMMA. They said I could make 3 to 4K a month by just typing messages on my phone for an hour a day, so I went all in. Now, these gurus were telling me to do cold outreach, and I did that. And I landed 0 clients for 9 entire months. I sacrificed my sleep, my schooling, my mental health, my physical health, and I didn't make a single fucking dollar. I would go to school from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., then have basketball until 8:30 p.m., and from like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., I would work for 9 months straight. And I didn't land a single client, no matter how many cold DMs I sent, no matter how many cold emails I sent, didn't make a single dollar. So I slowly started to doubt whether this actually works, and I was leaning towards giving up. So I then paid a larger agency to start working for them as an appointment setter. I paid them to work for them. I know it sounds kind of crazy. There's a bit of a backstory. And I booked calls for them for 6 months, and I made a total of $150. Fuck all, but I did learn a lot. I realized that what these courses and these gurus were telling me to do was bullshit. These guys were so big, Eman was so big, Jason Capital was so big, that no matter what he told his students to do, it just would never work because of how many students he had. When you have 1 million students and you tell them to do something and they all do it, they're all doing the exact same thing, promising the exact same results and saying the exact same thing. So why is a client going to choose one guy over the other 999,000? The answer is they won't, because I was one of those kids doing that exact same thing. So on my 16th birthday, I quit and I started my own reinvented agency, which got me to the point where I am now. Just doing the exact opposite of everything I learned. No basic cold outreach, no crazy guarantees, no charging money up front, and within 2 months, I hit my first 10K a month. I'm not going to say this is going to happen to you because I had already learned a bunch of skills leading up to this point, working as an appointment setter, running my SMMA for almost a year. So I had a lot of skills built up. I just didn't know how to monetize them, and I finally learned how to do it, and that's why I scaled up so fast. In the month after that, I made my first $20,000 in 30 days. So I then kept leveraging the oversaturated SMMA market, and I kept scaling, and I finally hit a $59,000 month with my agency, all because I stood out and I was different. So this right here, this kind of me to start like 14, 15, 16, posting some shitty ass Instagram videos. I'll put my phone on a bunch of books, set a timer, and take a screenshot on my fucking $100 laptop. And this is obviously me now. This is me in Miami, me doing whatever the fuck I want. This is me hitting my first 10K a month, me hitting my first 20K a month, and then obviously me hitting the $59,000 a month quite recently. So let's get into it. How you can do this exact same thing. Enough about me. My story is cool and all, but how can you actually achieve the exact same thing? So let's get into it. I will break down the exact steps that I would take if I had to do this all over again. Not having any expertise that I have now, no case studies, and no skills. I would just imagine that I'm putting myself in your shoes. Young dude, maybe at college, maybe at school, maybe you're working 9 to 5, and you want to get out of it, you want to be financially free. This is exactly what I would do step by step. So to start a reinvented agency, there are 3 major steps, right? And they break down like this. Number 1, you want to find an avatar, and I'll break them down more in depth here in a second. You want to find an avatar, then you want to find a $1 million problem and a solution to it, and then you want to land clients and solve the problem. Simple as that. Imagine it's like a triangle, middle is 10K a month, and you need to complete all 3 sides. Find a good avatar, find the problem, the solution, and then land clients and solve that problem, and you get paid along the way. So for me specifically, as you know, right now with my reinvented agency, I work with online fitness coaches. Their big problem is the lack of sales calls. So I get them sales calls by running Instagram ads for them, and they pay me $4,000 for 4 months of work, which takes me about 3 hours to fulfill, and the rest is automated. Let me break down each step more in depth. As I said, if you guys do want a more in-depth video of these 3 steps, check out the YouTube video that's linked in my bio. I forgot what it was called, but I go super in depth into finding your avatar and then finding the $1 million problem, because in this video, I'll kind of skim through it. I'll show you the basics, but overall, I just want to get you to understand how I would do this if I would do it all over again. I'll give you like the tip of the iceberg, and then I'll send you to other videos where I go very in depth. So phase number 1 is actually finding the avatar. Who are you going to be helping make more money? You can't go after anyone and everyone, because imagine you're going fishing and you have a net. If the net is too broad, all the fish are going to swim through. So you want to choose one specific niche or avatar and go specifically after them. Now, do these 3 things before choosing an avatar. So write down 3 things you're passionate about, write down 3 industries that you know a lot about, and then write down the type of people/brands that you follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, because the best niche to go after is a niche that you already know a little bit about. So I started out with online basketball coaches because I was already into basketball and I loved it, so I would resonate with them. I've got a bunch of people I'm working with right now whose parents are like roofers or realtors, so they go after something they already know a little bit about. It wouldn't make sense for me to go after insurance agents because I don't know shit about insurance. Now, you also want to make sure you actually enjoy the niche, you enjoy the avatar. I can't click on this link right now because this is an image, but if you do want a list of 900 different avatars that you can choose from that are tested and proven, then go ahead and click on the YouTube video in the bio. And in that video, I go super in depth on what is a good avatar, how to find a good avatar if you can't think of any, and if it's actually tested and proven, because you don't want to shoot in the dark and work with like newspaper article businesses, because that probably is not going to fucking work. So in that spreadsheet right there, there are 900 tested and proven niches. Now for this example, for this video, I'll just do fitness coaches. I'll imagine as if I never worked with them and I'm starting today, and the niche I chose is online fitness coaches, because you also want to realize that if a niche is very popular in the SMA space, it is going to be much easier for you to stand out. If you go after a niche that is already being bombarded by SMA, it makes it easier for you to stand out. If you're in a city and there's 1 million black people and you're the one white dude, like it or not, you're going to stand out. Same with this. All of SMA is going at fitness coaches. Therefore, I'm the one other motherfucker that's doing something different. I'm going to stand out like a black sheep because of how different I am. That's how it works. That's phase number 1. Just kind of skim through it. Then finding the $1 million problem and a solution to it. What is actually holding them back from making more money? And every avatar has a different $1 million problem. More clients is always the overarching problem, but you want to go deeper than that. Pretty much every avatar wants more clients. So fitness coaches want more clients, insurance agents want more clients, MMA gyms want more clients. That's always the overarching problem. You want to figure out what is holding them back from getting more clients. And that is the $1 million problem you want to solve. When I didn't know enough about my niche and about fitness coaches, I said the exact same thing. I would say I help online fitness coaches get more clients. That was the overarching, the surface level problem. Then I realized that the thing that was holding them back from getting more clients was the lack of sales calls they were booking. So that's when I changed my niche up, my $1 million problem up, I went from clients to booking sales calls, because that's what they really needed. The real estate agents, they obviously want more clients, but their true $1 million problem is the lack of listing conversations. MMA gyms, they might want more clients, but their true $1 million problem is they don't have a social media presence. They don't get enough leads from their Instagram. So you really want to figure out what the $1 million problem is. So here's how to actually find the problem. You want to go directly to your consumer. Go to Facebook groups, go to YouTube, Google Maps, Quora, IGDMs. Me personally, I would literally reach out to fitness coaches and pay them $100 just to get on a call with them to ask them questions that I needed answers to. That's if you're a fucking psycho. I don't recommend you do that, but it'll help you get a really, really good understanding. But if you know a friend or someone who's who's your ideal client, get on a call with them. Go meet them in person. Ask the questions that you want answers to. So for fitness coaches, it would go something along the lines of, hey, what app do you use to train your clients? How much do you charge? Are they 8-week, 12-week, 16-week programs? Do you charge monthly or is it one time? Ask every type of question that you would know if you were a fitness coach. You want to put yourself in their shoes. At this point right now, I'm not a fucking fitness coach, but I know more about fitness coaches than 80% of fitness coaches out there. When I get on a call, people are telling me some random bullshit, and I know that, hey, you're gonna change your mind in 2 months, because all the online fitness coaches who are making money are not using Zoom to train clients. They're using Trainerize or MyFitnessPal or fucking Fitness Nutrition, whatever it is. So you really want to indulge yourself into becoming your ideal client. That's really what it is. You want to know what they eat for breakfast, what time they go to sleep, everything about them. The best way to do it from what I've seen is literally go to Facebook. I'll actually show you an example now. You'd go to Facebook, search up your ideal client right here. So I would go fitness coach, and I would filter to just groups. That's my reel. Nice. I would go to groups and then filter it, and you can literally join all of these groups right here. You want to make sure you don't join ones where they're from third world countries like India or something, because with all the respect, they probably don't have enough money to pay you, and they're not really your ideal client. But look, 7K members, 20K members. I've joined a couple of these. I got kicked out from a bunch of them, but I'm still in a decent amount, I think. If you're doing fitness coach, these are the best ones: Trainerize, Personal Training UK, and My PT Hub. Those are the 3 that generated me a shit ton of cash. So you would go in here. You want to act as a fitness coach. So before you apply for the group, put in your bio that you're a fitness coach, just so when the admin opens up your profile, he knows you're not trying to sell them something. And then I wouldn't recommend coming in here making posts like, hey, fitness coaches, what is the biggest thing you struggle with? Because when you make a post here, an admin has to approve your post. So I would, like the first day or 2, I would just build relationships. So I would go through and answer all these guys' questions. Curious about the custom app since it's on sale for Black Friday. If I upgrade to the custom app, do I still pay a monthly subscription fee? Fucking Mike already answered the question, but I would still, it's a one-time fee. So the admin himself answered it. I'll literally come in here and say, hey, don't worry, it's only a one-time fee. There's not going to be any monthly charges. She sees that I've replied to her message. So then tomorrow when I ask her a question, she already has some report built with me. She's seen my name before in her notifications, so she's more likely to answer. But overall, the questions that I would be asking would be in the comment sections of other people's posts. So someone in here would ask, hey, how do you get most of your clients? And I would start a full-on conversation in the comment section of someone else's posts. Because in order to comment on someone's post, you don't need to get approved by the admin. If you want to make a post in the group, that's when you got to get approved, and then admins slowly start realizing that, hey, this guy doesn't have good intentions. He's here to sell us some bullshit. So even though it's not bullshit, but I would go in here, build relationships for a day or 2, then ask questions in the comment section, get a really good understanding of whatever I'm trying to understand, and then fill out my avatar doc and just learn what the $1 million problem is. That's pretty much what I would do. Reach out, build relationships, and do market research. Facebook groups, as I said, is a cheat code. Act like them. When you apply for a group, put fitness coach in your bio. Don't put, I help fitness coaches make more money, because you're not going to get approved anywhere, because they're going to know that you're there to sell them. Now, how to find the solution? This is pretty straightforward. The answer is normally just ads. I would recommend researching the top dogs in the industry and figuring out what they're doing that's different. For fitness coaches, when I was coming up with my ad, which I call a macros ad, which I can't give away to you guys for free right now, because I still do it to this day, and it's what I tell my students to do for their clients. I would go to ads library on Facebook, search up the top fitness coaches out there, so like Charlie Johnson, for example, and I would open up like 10 of them, because the ad library on Facebook, which is free, shows you what ads people are running. So I would research the top 10 biggest fitness coaches, see what kind of ads they're running, and you're always going to see a similarity. Because if a fitness coach who makes 500K a month or $1 million a month is running a type of ad, and you see other fitness coaches running the same ad, odds are it probably works for them. It's going to work for your client as well. So that's literally how to find the solution. Run Instagram ads. Your client is going to be the one paying for the ads as well. About $20 to $50 a day, depending on how much you ask for. You make the ad, you run it for them. Pretty straightforward. Shouldn't take you more than like 10 to 15 minutes to learn. But as I said, every person, every niche or every avatar has a different $1 million problem. For me, they needed more sales calls, so Instagram ads was the best way to go. If you're working with gardeners, all they might want is more Instagram posts. So you can just go to Canva, make a couple posts, or hire someone to make Canva posts for them that would help them get more followers and help them have better credibility on Instagram. It really depends on what the problem is that you're solving. But 99% of the time, the client isn't good at marketing because it's not their job, so you just want to help with marketing. So what I was saying earlier, online fitness coaches wanted more clients, but their $1 million problem was the lack of sales calls. So I went ahead, joined Facebook groups, acted like a trainer, and learned everything I could about them. I even paid coaches $100 to get on market research calls. That's what only fucking real G's do. Then I researched the top dogs, and they were all running a certain type of Instagram ad. It's called the macro ad. As I said, I still do this, so I cannot give it away for free. But if you're going after fitness coaches, it'll be pretty easy for you to figure it out because a lot of the big guys are doing it to this day. That's step 2. Remember the triangle I was talking about? We've got the avatar, we've got the $1 million problem and a solution. Right now, the next step is how to truly land clients, and this one I'll go a bit more in depth in, because this is exactly what I'd do if I was at zero right now and I was restarting. I don't do this anymore because right now most of my clients just come in from referrals and testimonials. Like, I have a fitness coach that I overdeliver for, and he tells his friends who are also coaches to come work with me, and that's literally how I grow. But for you, this is exactly what I would do. The only reason I made 59 grand in 1 month is because I stood out. No question about it. I knew what everyone else was doing, so I just did the opposite. Because I had bought all these courses from these SMA gurus. I knew exactly what Joel Kaplan, Charlie Morgan, Iman Gadzhi were telling all their students to do. So I would just do the exact opposite. And here's the exact breakdown of how I did it. I created a unique mechanism with a no-brainer offer that people felt stupid saying no to. So my offer would be, hey, I'll get you 40 sales calls in 30 days or you don't pay. So it would work like this. This is when I was already making a bit of money. You pay me $4 grand right now. If in 30 days I don't get you 40 sales calls, I give you the money back. So it's not like you don't pay me at all. You pay me, but if I don't get you what I promised you, I give you the money back. If you're just starting out and you have no case studies, no testimonials, you don't even know what you're doing, I would recommend working for free for the first 7 days. So having an offer something along the lines of, I will help you get 10 sales calls in 7 days, and all I ask for in return is a testimonial of my service. That's what I would run with. They don't pay you any money. They pay for the ads, but they're already fine with that because they probably run ads on their own and they don't do shit. So they know that you're not there for the personal benefit. They know that you only benefit from this if they get you the results, and they really want you to get the result of 10 sales calls. So that's pretty much what I'd say. If you're doing real estate agents, I would say, hey, I'll get you 5 listing conversations in 7 days, or you don't pay, or you just give me a list, or if I do it, you give me a testimonial or a referral. It's really up to you what you ask for, but that's definitely what I'd recommend to start out. Get 2 or 3 case studies, so 2 or 3 testimonial videos of your clients that you delivered for, because then you have more credibility, you have more authority, and you can start charging money. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you got no previous client work, no one's gonna pay you $4 grand to start with. The only reason people out there are charging 10, 20 grand a month is because they've got a fucking page. They got walls and walls of client results and client testimonials. But back to this, the 5-step process. I created that unique mechanism and in a no-brainer offer. Then I followed 100 leads every single day, and I DM'd 50 every single day consistently. So every day I would follow 100 people and I would DM 50 people. Keep in mind, Instagram has some bans, some action bans. So if you just sit down and do this exact thing in 1 hour, you're gonna get action blocked. You can't do 100 follows and 50 DMs in 1 hour and not get action blocked. You need to break it up. So I would do like 20 follows, 10 DMs, then I'd wait 2 hours, then I'd do 20 more follows, 10 more DMs. And I would break it out throughout the day so Instagram doesn't flag my account. Keep in mind, if your account is new and you went from like 0 engagement daily to doing 150 DMs a day, 150 follows, you're gonna get action blocked. So you slowly wanna ramp it up step by step, day by day. Step number 3, I would post 2 pieces of content daily for the warm leads. Because when I reached out to 50 people daily and I would follow 100 people daily, a lot of these guys would follow me back. They would start coming into my ecosystem. They would start following me. They would start seeing my content. So I would post 2 pieces of content daily to nurture these leads. Posts with like reels, giving value, building trust, building rapport. I would just run them through my Triple C funnel, which I'll talk about in a second, and that is the exact funnel that booked me calls 24/7. I would close at a 35% close rate for my $4,000 program, but for you, it might only be 20-25%. You'll slowly get better with sales as you go along, but that should not be the priority or the focus as of right now. Right now, your main goal is just to book calls, and the rest will come with it. Even if you're shit at sales, from 3 sales calls, you're probably going to close at least 1, or from 5, you'll close at least 1. 20% is bottom what you should be aiming for. Mine was 35% because I was charging $4 grand and I was getting on calls with everyone. If you're only charging $1 grand, you should be looking at a much higher closing rate. But that is the overall breakdown of the beginner's guide. How I would do everything if I went from 0 to getting back up to where I am right now. Now, I want to go a bit more in depth with the Triple C funnel because this is really what's going to make you money. In order to utilize this correctly, you want to have all 3 aspects down. So you want to have credibility, you want to connect with people, and you want to convert people. And that's really what's going to make you money. Let me break it down. Credibility is just what people think of you as soon as they open up your page. If they open up your page and you've got no pictures of yourself, you've got a really shitty profile, you've got shitty bio, shitty pictures, they're not really going to build trust with you. They're going to ask themselves, why should I listen to this guy? Like you have about 3 to 4 seconds to really capture their attention and install yourself as an authority figure in their mind. If you don't do that, they scroll off your page and they go back to watching fucking cats or dogs or whatever they watch on TikTok. So you have about 3 to 4 seconds to really establish yourself as a credible authority figure. So you want to look at me, for example, this is my new profile. Back in the day, it was just for fitness coaches, and this is the exact framework you want to use. So I help online fitness coaches get more sales calls with my Triple C funnel. That's what it was. Then I changed it to I help online fitness coaches fill their calendar with qualified sales calls using my Triple C funnel. First of all, if you don't know your avatar, you don't know their $1 million problem, you can't really make a bio. So make sure you go at it step by step, what I was talking about here. So find an avatar, find the problem, the solution, and then move over to making your profile credible. So get some posts out. Followers help, but it's not necessary. If you have even like 500 followers, that's fine. If you know what you're doing and your bio looks good and your profiles look and your profile pictures look good. Then we move over to connect. So how I would actually connect with 100 people daily. So I would go to Instagram hashtags and I would search up hashtag online fitness coach. I would filter it to recent top posts and I would find people here 24/7. Fitness coaching is such a big industry that there's new fitness coaches coming in daily, and there's a bunch of hashtags you can use like hashtag online PT, hashtag PT, and they all have like millions and millions of posts. So there is no limit to how far you can scale this realistically. So I would come in here, filter to recent top posts, and I would start following 100 dudes daily, and I would start start DMing 50 people daily. From the 50, I'd get about 7 to 8 to reply, and I'd normally book about 1 call a day. But that's because my profile was really good and I had everything dialed in. For you, you should be aiming at about 2 to 3 sales calls a week if you're sending 50 DMs daily. So if you send about 350 DMs, you should book about 2 to 3 sales calls. That's the absolute minimum. Worst case scenario, and from 3 sales calls, you should close at least 1. So per week, you should be looking at least $1,000 recurring coming in if you do the bare minimum. Obviously, if you do it more like me, where you're posting, you're posting 2 pieces of content per day, you're doing the follows, these slowly add up, and the clients start rolling in. Maybe not in day 1, maybe not in day 5, but by day 10 and day 15, these people that followed you 10 days ago, they've seen your content, they now know that you know what you're talking about, so they reach out, they get on a call with you, and they're much easier to close because they've seen you over the last 2 weeks rather than someone that you DM'd an hour ago. So that's literally how I would follow 100 dudes daily. I would go to hashtags and other people's following. So I would find a fitness coach, go to following, see if you followed other fitness coaches, and just follow them. That also helps a lot. So I would get a fitness coach, let me explain this. So I would get a fitness coach that follows me, and I would go to his following and follow the fitness coaches that he's following. So then once this third person opens up my profile, he sees that this guy's following me, and he knows this guy, so his trust is associated with me. And also when you do that, when you have a mutual follower, your DM goes straight to primary rather than message requests, meaning your reply rate is going to be like 5x. It's 5x what it normally is. So I would recommend first couple days just follow people, get follow backs, and once you get a fitness coach to follow you back, follow the trainers that he's following, because then you're going to have that mutual friend, mutual follower right there, and that trust is going to be associated to you. I would recommend doing about 100 follows daily and 50 DMs per day. So overall 150 leads that you're really bringing in per day. Obviously about 6 might follow you back and about 5 might reply. That the numbers may vary day to day. There would be days where I get 20 follow backs and 0 replies. There would be other days where I would get 10 replies and only 5 follow backs. But that's what you want to do per day. Don't look at the numbers per day. Zoom it out to like a week, and per week you should be doing 700 follows and 350 DMs daily. That's the ultimate goal. It was 100 follows, 50 DMs every day. And then convert, I'm not going to go super in depth into the script I use right now to convert a lead to a sales call, but overall I just ask like, hey, what's the big goal for you this year? They would say, I want to hit 10K a month. Cool. So what are the top 2 or 3 things you need help right now to achieve that 10K a month? They would say their struggle. So I need more sales calls. I need more leads. I need more clients, whatever it is. And then I'd say, awesome, man, I've got an idea. Do you want to jump on a quick game plan chat this week and figure out a way to get you more sales calls in the next 30 days? No pressure to say yes, by the way, to kind of ease it off. They would say yes. I would send a Calendly link, and boom, about 2 to 3 sales calls, about 1 to 2 sales calls per day would come in just from that. I would close, as I said, at about 30 to 35% close rate for my $4,000 offer, and that's how I made a shit ton of money, and that's exactly what I would do if I had to do this all over again. What I said right here, reach out, ask 2 to 3 questions, then pitch a call using Calendly. Super, super simple. I'm not going to go too in depth into the whole sales conversation now and into how to set up the Calendly so you have the reminders and the show up rate is high. That is for another video. But for this video, I just wanted to explain to you the surface level. I kind of went in depth there with the Facebook and everything, but how I would go back to making 10K a month if I had to do this all over again. For this example, I used online fitness coaches. For you, obviously the niche can be completely different, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and comment down below what kind of videos you guys want to see more of. As I said, if you do want a super in-depth video, go ahead and click on the top link in the bio. It'll be like a 50-minute training where I break it down step by step how I actually did this and how you can do it too. If you do want my personal one-on-one help, go ahead and DM me on Instagram and we'll see what we can do. Other than that, I'll speak to you guys soon.